At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Happy Monday morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. You're watching Coffee with Krueger every weekday morning at 6:30. So glad you could join us this morning. Got my cup of coffee. Hope you got your beverage of choice this morning and you're having a good start to the work week. You know, we were anticipating that the rain would hold off through the weekend just in time, of course, for many of the events going on. Of course, you know, had the big Red Bluff Roundup going on starting Friday. Saturday, Sunday was dry for all three of those days. It was dry for any show and shines we saw yesterday, which there were plenty of them out of the Redding area. Today, though, a bit of a different story. What a beautiful shot, by the way. We're starting off with our divine camera, our divine view, looking out just to the west here as the sun is rising, putting from beautiful colors and putting a nice little spotlight right there on Shasta Bali. Now, you'll notice the clouds. You look at the top of your screen there, those are some of the clouds in advance of the main band of rain. But if you look kind of beyond that mountain, kind of to the west of Shasta Bali, that's where we're seeing the bulk of the rain. That is going to be slowly progressed to the east here throughout the day today. In fact, let's take a look at the radar and you can see that band of rain. It's close, isn't it? Of course, we saw that from Shasta Bali. And it's beginning to fill in. We saw just a nice light little line there, but now it's starting to kind of fill in between the main band of rain and that small one that was approaching. So it's beginning to gain strength. We're seeing more the atmosphere is getting more and more saturated, and that's going to help to support more of that rain. But again, this is going to be slowly progressing eastward here throughout the morning and the afternoon. So this morning, let's take a look at your Krueger's Quickcast for your Monday, April 20th. Now, right now, we're looking at temperatures upper 40s to low 50s in the valley. You know, the added cloud cover that's keeping those temperatures a little bit more mild, although Chester, 36. We're seeing less cloud cover off to the east, and that's why it's a bit cooler there. But where we've got clouds and even rain, places like Trinity County, Del Norte, Humboldt County, right? Western Siskiyou County, seeing that rain, and as a result, those temperatures are a tad warmer. So out the door this morning, 8 o'clock, it's showing mostly cloudy skies in the valley, but I do think places like Redding, southward could see a chance for showers as early as 8 o'clock this morning. But most of the rain will be to the west of that, Trinity County, North Coast. This is a very slow-moving system, folks, so it's going to be a hurry-up-and-wait type of situation here throughout the day. I'm expecting that Modoc County and most of the eastern mountains will be dry through most of the day today. So quite an interesting storm system moving in. Number one, you can see that cold front. That's what's approaching. That's what's going to be moving through. Behind that, you've got some energy kind of wrapping around that area of low pressure. This is a fairly cold storm system. You see the speckled clouds? So initially, the first push of moisture is just going to mainly bring us the rain. You're going to see that flow coming in from the south. That's going to help to draw in that moisture. And then eventually, as that more cold and unstable air moves in, we're going to really start to see that atmosphere get more unstable. And that's going to bring the potential with it for thunderstorms, especially for tomorrow. So we're looking at our HRRR forecast model at 6 o'clock this morning at the current hour, doing pretty good there, right? Then you can see as we go through the morning hours, by midday, we're seeing the showers pushing through. Now, again, I don't think it's going to be quite as a spread there or kind of a gap in that rain. I think for basically the valley westward by midday is seeing most of that rain, including central and western Siskiyou County. And then it starts to slowly push to the east. So by about 6 o'clock this evening, the valley's still seeing the rain. But what you'll notice is not as much for the coast and still fairly dry for most of the eastern mountains. And I mean that is mainly for places like Lassen, Plumas, and Modoc County, mainly seeing those dry conditions, but that'll change by later tonight and into tomorrow. So the winds, well, they're going to be kind of scattered a bit. Scattered winds, right? We don't really say that, but you can see here in central Siskiyou County, known as Shasta Valley, pretty gusty winds. In fact, there's a wind advisory there because we could see those gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour. And if you drive a big rig, you know that that's a big deal. So you definitely want to pay attention to that. Also some gusty winds east of the valley here by midday. And by the afternoon, those winds should subside a bit for central Siskiyou County, but still a bit gusty east of the valley here, even as we go into the evening hours. Rainfall chances good today. Tomorrow, they start to drop off on Wednesday. And by the end of the week, we should be looking at drier conditions. Now, I put that 10% in there for Saturday because it's not a zero chance. Let's just put it that way. I don't think we're going to see much in the way of rain for the second half of the, big cool April nights week, and especially going into the big show on Saturday. But don't be surprised if on Saturday, maybe we see a stray sprinkle, a light shower. We'll see. Right now, I wouldn't count on it. So there you can see, now if you look off to the east, look at number one, the warmer colors, right? You've got the yellows and oranges. It's warmer there because less cloud cover, not expecting rain today. And that's why it will be warmer there. I mean, look at Susanville, 69 for your high. But you go into Redding, it's only 60. Why? Because it's going to be overcast. It's cooler air moving in with that cold front, and that's where the rain is going to be for the valley westward. East of that, I don't expect a lot of rainfall throughout the day today, even into this late afternoon. Tonight, of course, I think widespread chances for showers everywhere. Temperatures mainly in the 30s and 40s for your overnight lows. Mainly upper 40s for the valley, mid 40s for the coast. So there's your 7-day forecast. Now, really, the rain comes in, starting off fairly dry this morning, as we're seeing now. That will progressively see more and more showers coming in through the day today. Tuesday, I think, is the best chance for thunderstorms, and some of those thunderstorms could be severe. Wednesday, I've got thunderstorms. It looks really ominous, right? But really, Wednesday is the day we're wrapping things up. We're transitioning from the cool and unsettled to drier and warmer. As you can clearly see, we are drier and warmer by Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday. We take a look at the 7-day forecast for the coast. Hey, listen, if we hear a rumble of thunder on the coast, don't be surprised. But I think most of that will also be on Tuesday, wrapping things up on Wednesday. You'll also notice for Alturas and Susanville, I've still got a chance for showers for you on Thursday. There's kind of on the backside of that area of low pressure that may bring a few showers on Thursday. But for the most part, we're drying things out for the latter half of the week and this upcoming weekend. All right, we're going to take another look at our beautiful Divine View camera here. This is looking out from the Divine Restaurant, right, over the Sacramento River. Look at those dark skies. That rain's coming. I mean, it is knocking on our door, folks. So you can clearly see that that rain is approaching and coming in from the west. So it's only a matter of time before we start seeing that rain moving in. There's a look at Lake Oroville, and you can see some of the beautiful colors from the sunrise there. Taking a look at Main Street Chico. Looks like traffic is flowing along just beautifully. Highway 99 at Neal Road. Not much going on there. You can see some of the clouds off in the distance as we're not looking at mainly clear skies at this point. Looks like we are seeing Crescent City with mostly cloudy skies. Doesn't look very wet there right now, does it? I'm looking even at the pavement. It doesn't look very wet, but there may be some showers in there. That should probably be picking up here later this morning and afternoon. Taking a look at Bald Hill West, it is wet there. We don't have much in the way of low clouds, at least fog, but we do have the clouds above overhead, that is, and of course the showers as well. Taking a look at Soda Ridge, beautiful sunrise shot there. Not much going on in the way of rain, but again, that's going to be changing for Siskiyou County as well. Let's take a look at Fort Jones, looking at Scott Valley. Dry for now, but that will be changing later this morning into the afternoon. And taking a look at Lassen Volcanic National Park. We're seeing the whole bench now. That's kind of our quote-unquote benchmark, right, where the snow is. Now, there may be more snow for Lassen Park, especially today, tomorrow, and even Wednesday. So we may see that bench get covered in snow again. But we're kind of starting to see less and less of that snow in the area. Hey, by the way, I want to remind you that Coffee with Krueger would not be possible without our sponsor, and that is Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. And I want to show you something here because they got all kinds of great things going on. Now, of course, yesterday was their show and shine. That has since then ended. So their next big thing going on is April 26th. So that is what? Next weekend, Sunday, April 26th. The doors will be open at 6:30 p.m. It's the Chase Matthews Show. So you can still get your tickets. You can just go to windriver.com, click on the entertainment section, and you can purchase your tickets online, and you'll be good to go. And after that, Sunday, May 10th, you've got your Mother's Day brunch. Let's take a look at that. She's your biggest cheerleader, your safe place, your superhero without a cape. And this Mother's Day, it's all about her. Give her an unforgettable experience with Mother's Day brunch in the event center. Don't wait. Make this Mother's Day, or make this Mother's Day one that is she'll never forget. $60 plus fees and reservations are required. Reservations, so be sure to get your reservations for Wind River. So a lot of great events going on there today. So once again, I want to thank Wind River for their support. Let's take a look at our weather headlines. Cool and wet start to the week. Already on the coast, already in Trinity County, western Siskiyou County. Not just yet for the valley. That's changing though. That's going to be changing here. Periods of heavy rain and gusty winds. Strong to severe thunderstorms. Some of these thunderstorms that we do see, especially tomorrow, could reach the severe category. That means heavy rainfall, gusty winds, large hail, and we can't rule out a spin up or two. We'll watch for that. Dry and warmer for the end of the week. All right, so let's get into our deeper dive forecast for your Monday, April 20th. There it is. We've got the rain. That rain is coming on in. Now, that rain is slowly pushing eastward. And as it does that, we're going to see the rain chances increase through the morning hours. So last night, early this morning, hit the coast, and we're really starting to kind of just see this main band of moisture. Now, the characteristics, right, you'll notice that flow is coming in from the south. So to start off initially, in advance of this cold front, we're bringing in the warm, moist air. So that's going to keep those snow levels fairly high, probably above 7,000 feet. But it is a nice feed of moisture coming on in, and that's what's going to give us some pretty steady rainfall this morning. As you can see here, it's kind of started here just west of the valley, westward to the coast. But as I mentioned, this is all going to be shifting slowly to the east. This area here, Modoc, Lass, and Plumas counties, most likely dry throughout the day. This is going to be a very slow progressing system to the east. Clearly you see that broad area of low pressure just spinning away. Cold air has been kind of wrapped up in it. You can see the speckled clouds. This right here is where we've got that most amount of instability, right about here. And when I talk about instability, that's especially this time of the year. When we see the breaks in the clouds like that too, we can also see that convective activity. That convective activity can really spark up those thunderstorms. And with these little spins in the atmosphere, that too can also spark up a tornado or two as well. So this is going to be certainly one of those things we're going to have to be watching here by tomorrow. But the main cold front is just hitting the coast as we speak. But we clearly see that flow bringing in that moisture, and that will be slowly shifting itself off to the east throughout the day today. Here's the big picture on our long range. And there you can see as we kind of progress through time, Tuesday, Wednesday, that low pressure eventually kind of weakens as it starts to move on shore. But you can still see even on Wednesday a chance for showers. Snow down to about 5,000 feet, maybe locally lower in some cases. By Thursday, Friday, Saturday, really this weekend, looking at mainly dry conditions here. But look at Saturday. This is something I'm watching closely because that's the big car show this Saturday for cool April nights. And wouldn't you know, we got this little bullseye right over Redding. It just feels like, we all know this, it feels like it's this curse that is on Redding, that whenever cool April night starts coming in, the rain kicks in as well. I mean, I can't think of, there have been years, but it just feels like every year I'm talking about those chances for stray showers off and on. But really, as we do go into Thursday, Friday, I think overall you'll be dry, but we've really got to watch Saturday. Saturday at this point, I still wouldn't count on a whole lot, but man, it just wants to stick around, doesn't it? Then, of course, by Sunday, that starts to kind of kick itself off to the east. Now, this is coming in from the Storm Prediction Center out of Norman, Oklahoma. So for tomorrow, this is the area that where we could see that potential for some of those thunderstorms popping up. And as I mentioned, it's not out of the question for a strong to even severe thunderstorm popping up here in any of these areas of green. And I would anticipate especially out towards the valley. So that's something we'll be watching very closely over the next 24 hours. So let's take a look at this morning. You see how this is all pushing eastward? So that flow of moisture coming in from the south. Now you can see it's just hitting just east of the valley by midday. So places like Bernie, Shingletown, Paradise, Chico, you're all seeing those showers. And I still think we're going to see showers here as well. And then to the west, we're on the back edge of that main band of rain on the coast, but still wet at this point. Now what you'll notice is it's now shifting even a little bit more to the east. So now we're drying things out. Still a few showers along the coast by 6 p.m. Heavier rainfall to the east, and it's just that nice steady flow of moisture, meaning a pretty good chance for just some steady rainfall through the afternoon in the valley. If you hear a few rumbles of thunder here and there, don't be surprised, but I don't expect anything close to severe. And then you can see mainly dry. Again, 6 p.m., Modoc, Lassen, Plumas counties. Now we're seeing the leading edge of some light showers trying to move in, so that certainly could be the case. And then by tonight and tomorrow, that's beginning to move in. And you'll also notice we're beginning to see more snow on the map, because at this point the cold front will have passed, colder air has moved in, and snow levels will start to drop. So this is where I would anticipate the potential for some chain requirements, and especially as you get closer to the Tahoe region. Otherwise, much like last week, you remember we did see that snow, but most of the chain requirements were in Plumas County southward. I would anticipate that that will be the case again. So north of that, most likely no chain requirements. West of I-5, minus Scott Mountain Pass, I would not anticipate a lot of chain requirements there either. But in the meantime, we take you into Tuesday afternoon. Look at this. Now we're starting to see those thunderstorms begin to pop up. And as I mentioned, some of those could reach that severe category. But watch what happens as we go into your Wednesday. Still a few showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm Wednesday morning. But look what happens. I mean, it really breaks apart. But what we've still got here, cool air and moisture. So if we get enough breaks in the clouds on Wednesday, we'll see that daytime heating, and I think we can see some convective showers and thunderstorms popping up. That is the heat of the surface, right, from the sun. That warm air rises. That's the instability that we need, and some of those showers and possible thunderstorms could pop up Wednesday afternoon. Then on Thursday, this is kind of interesting. We take you into Thursday. Things are really dry. But you see how we're seeing the potential for a little bit of activity popping up. And I still think maybe even places like Modoc, Lassen, and Plumas counties could see a stray shower, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. But as it stands right now, most of Northern California is looking fairly dry through the day on Thursday, and not to mention for your Friday. But as we saw on our long range on Saturday, maybe the potential for some wet weather. Let's take a look at the amount of rainfall we can expect. I'm thinking 1 to 2 inches in the valley, and maybe more than that in some spots here. For those of you that get caught under these thunderstorms, you're talking about brief periods of heavy rainfall, and that can really bring you a lot of rainfall in a short period of time. What you'll notice too is that most of the rain is in the valley and in the surrounding foothills, and to the west of that into places like Trinity County in the mountains. We're seeing less rainfall for Lassen, Modoc counties, and even less rainfall for the coast. But I do think you'll probably see more than the ½ inch that you see here. I'd say about a three-quarters of an inch to maybe 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches. Snowfall, I don't expect any accumulating snow for any of the higher mountain communities like, say, Chester. Chester, listen, if you see some snowflakes, that's not out of the question, and a brief period of maybe some minor accumulation, but it's going to be hard-pressed for that. Places like Quincy, Portola, that are going to try as well, but you know, you're going to have to go above most likely 4,500, 5,000 feet before you start seeing any even minor accumulation. And then the big accumulation will be above that, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 feet. So you can kind of see that Lassen Volcanic National Park, Mount Shasta, the mountain, right? The peak there, looking at a foot or two of snow. That's a very good possibility. And that will also be the case as you head out to places, you know, around the Tahoe region. So certainly some good news there as they're getting more snow. Now the winds are certainly going to be something we'll have to watch here. Gusty winds, especially for central Siskiyou County today. If you drive a big rig, just know that there are going to be some gusty winds there throughout the day today, and that could create some problems if you drive a big rig. Also, some gusty winds off to the east, but not so bad for the valley and not so bad for the coast. But tomorrow, yeah, a little breezy for the valley coming in from the south-southeast, 20, 25 miles per hour. Not so bad for the coast, and just a little breeze here and there for places in the eastern mountains. Then on Wednesday, the winds overall start to die down. Thursday, you know, a little breezy at times. So no major wind events. Again, the main thing we've got to be concerned about today is central Siskiyou County along I-5, especially if you do drive a high-profile vehicle. All right, here's a look at your 10-day trend. Cool to start the week, right? But we start to tick upward Wednesday, and even more so by the time we get into Thursday, Friday, and even into the weekend. Here's a look at your lake levels. Interesting. the data is, it's all missing data for all of the lake levels. So unfortunately, I have to give you data that's from the 16th. That's the latest data that we've got coming in. But bottom line, lakes are still very healthy. Now, the wave heights are expected to drop over the next 24 hours or so. So there are no small craft advisories, but do note there is that potential for showers and maybe even some thunderstorms here for today and tomorrow just off the coast. South winds at about 10 to 15 knots. So here's your neighborhood forecast sponsored by Dignity Health and Grange Co-op. Let's start off with Trinity County, where temperatures are going to be mainly in the 50s. So for Trinity County, I think you're going to see some showers. If you hear a rumble of thunder or two, no big surprises. But I think most of the thunderstorm activity will be Tuesday, more scattered showers Wednesday, drying out by Thursday and Friday. And really across the board, it's going to be today, tomorrow, and Wednesday, right? So there you can see temperatures upper 50s to around 60 along the coast. We take you up north, 57 degrees for Orleans, 59 in Hoopa and Willow Creek, and 60 degrees in Smith River. Siskiyou County, your showers will be moving in later this morning and afternoon. Maybe some thunderstorms tomorrow, scattered showers Wednesday, drying out Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday is the day we'll have to watch here. But Modoc County, I think you're dry today, and then eventually by tonight into tomorrow, you've got some wet weather. Mainly dry for the eastern mountains as well. Now, Bernie, Viola, Mineral, yeah, okay, in Paradise, you'll see some showers later this afternoon, later this morning and afternoon, but east of that, I think you'll be looking at mainly dry conditions through most of the day today. For the valley, to the south, temperature about 59 in Willows. It's a cool start. It's definitely a cool start to the week. There you got the showers and thunderstorms Tuesday, possible thunderstorms on Wednesday, but mainly I think the main event for thunderstorms will be Tuesday. And then Wednesday, a slight chance. And then Thursday, we're drying things out here. All right, let's take you off to the north. 54 degrees for Whiskeytown, 59 in Lakehead. We've got 60 in Cottonwood and 61 degrees in Red Bluff. There's your 7-day forecast for Redding. Right around 60, give or take, today, tomorrow. And as I said, the main event for thunderstorms will be tomorrow. That's when we can expect to see the potential for some severe thunderstorms. And when I say severe, folks, that means heavy rainfall, hail, lightning, and we can't rule out a spin up or two. Now, Wednesday, don't be too concerned about Wednesday. Mainly scattered showers, but we can't rule out a straight thunderstorm, so that's why I'm putting the lightning strikes in there. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday is dry. Now, Saturday, I should probably even just put partly cloudy skies at least in there because it's not a guaranteed day that it's going to be dry. And of course, as we all know, a lot of show and shines, a lot of things going on this week. I thought I fixed it. It was supposed to work. I fixed it before the show. The mic was supposed to stay on when I went to the camera. But no, it's not working. Technology for you. But anyway, so yeah, this is really, especially tomorrow. Tomorrow is what I'm going to call a just be weather aware day. Now, this is not an alarmist thing. This is not something like, oh my gosh, it's going to get crazy. No. What it means is that you've just got to be aware of what's going on because thunderstorms, tornadoes, they're not safe. They're dangerous situations. So you need to make sure that you know what's going on, especially if you work outdoors, right? Lightning strikes, thunderstorms, keep an eye to the sky. Make sure you've got the app on your phone. The Weather NorCal app, not just the native app, but the Weather NorCal app, because you'll get the alerts, the watches, the warnings. If I need to cut in for any reason, you'll get an alert on your phone saying I'm about to cut in. You can watch it there live right there on your phone. If you're out and about, you can watch it on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick. You can watch any live updates on Facebook as well. So there are a lot of great resources for you right here at Weather NorCal to help keep you safe during these types of weather events. So today is not necessarily the day that we're concerned about. It's tomorrow that we're going to have to watch closely to see what happens with these thunderstorms. And then by Wednesday, things are kind of wrapping themselves up. Boy, I forgot to put on all the social media so I can see what's going on with you guys today. Why is it not loading up? Oh, there it is. Oh, my goodness. Find post. There we go. We're going to go do that. See if anybody's kind of checking in this morning. All right, turn that on. There we go. Yeah, you guys have been checking in this morning. Of course you have. Let me take a look what some of you are saying this morning. Ooh, yeah. Man, oh man. All right, so let's check in with some of you this morning. We're going to start with the very beginning, and we have got a good morning coming in from James and Mandy. We've got Lisa Stevens, who is saying, happy Monday, we've got this. Get out there and tackle the week with style. Yeah, that's a good attitude to start on this Monday. We've got Curtis Brown. Hey, Curtis, by the way, yes, your photos kind of came in. They show that they came in, but they didn't upload. It's kind of frustrating. I don't know what's going on with the Android app. I have talked to the tech support. They say they have it fixed, but unfortunately it doesn't sound like it's fixed. So I'm gonna have to bug them again. So sorry, Curtis, hang tight. We're gonna try to get this resolved. Because I think if I'm not mistaken, you've got the Android. Jackie Dixon, one of our regulars, she's checking in. Good morning from Red Bluff. Well, did you go to the Red Bluff Roundup? What you doing in Red Bluff? Usually you're in Trinidad. We've got Hannah saying happy Monday. Let's get some rain to help with the incoming fire season. Absolutely. Let's take the rain whenever we can get it. Although, if you are a cool April Nights fan and you got a car show and shine today, maybe you're not really necessarily hoping for that rain. It depends on who you are, what your priorities are, right? That's what it's all about. Sandra saying, ready for the day. Have fun today, people. Good morning, Mike, coming in from Christine. We've also got Kristen. Kristen saying, did you see those weird small oval clouds in the sky yesterday? I've never seen the sky like that before. If they were oval, they may have been some kind of lenticular clouds, but no, Kristen, I guess I didn't see much of the sky yesterday. I wasn't paying too much attention. But they may have been lenticular, I'm not sure. Curtis is saying, I saw those too. I've never seen them before. There's been a lot of weird activity going on with the UFOs. No, I don't know. We got Pam coming in saying, Coffee with Krueger, Weather NorCal app. You bet. Thank you, Pam. Certainly appreciate that. And we got a good morning from Cottonwood from Tammy. I always love checking in, reading your comments and saying good morning, even if it's just a good morning. Love that. And if you have any kind of cool reports like Kristen and even Curtis talking about those weird oval clouds, well, I didn't see any of those. Let me see if I can pop it up on our cool camera. I'm going to see if I can pop it up and go back in time. We're going to go back in time and let's see if we can find it. And I'm going to go to tomorrow or yesterday. Let's see if anything pops up here. Of course, it's taking forever to load up. And it's starting with 12 a.m. We don't want to start with 12 a.m. Let's go to like in the, I'm assuming it was probably like sometime in the afternoon. So I'm going to go with like, I don't know, 3:45. Let's see what it looks like out there. Let's see if it kind of pops up. So I don't see anything here. Why don't you kind of, here, I'll put it on here for you. And I'm kind of going through some of these clouds here. What time of the day was it? Yeah, I'm not sure what time. Maybe I'll go to 4 p.m. Let's see if it loads up. It kind of takes a little bit of time to load up. I don't see anything that's just highly unusual. Maybe it was later. Let's try 5 p.m. And loading up, loading up, loading up. Hurry up and wait, hurry up and wait. Well, there you go. That was fun. So much fun. Oh, you know what I did though? I did do, let me see if I can pop that up. It's going to sit here and try to load here, but I should see if this will work. You know, it didn't work. Yeah, it won't load up. That won't load up because it's not going to work. All right, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to find those those clouds that you guys were talking about. There you go. Stupid microphone turns off when I go to this camera. I fixed it, and now it's broken again. Jackie, little frustration this Monday morning. No big deal. It's not the end of the world. Jackie's saying, yeah, visiting family, heading back to Trinidad today before the storm hits. Thank you for the great weather coverage. Well, the storm's already hit, so just be careful, Jackie, because the roads are going to be wet and they may be a little slick. Oh, the clouds were in the morning, about 9 o'clock. Okay, well, let me see if I can find it. You know, we're here. We're having fun. We're at the end of the show. Nothing really going on after this. Let's see here. Let's take it back to 9 a.m. Okay, I'm going to take it to 9 a.m. Let's see if it loads up. Is it not going to load up? It's not going to load up. Let's try it. Let's see if it'll load up here. No, now we're going to PM. Come on, if we're lucky. All right, so this, I can't move the camera because this is where the camera is pointed. So again, even at 8:52 in the morning, let's try 9 a.m. No, I don't see anything unusual. Okay, I think I'm beginning to see it a little bit here. Oh, here. There you go. Now we're seeing it. Now we're seeing it. Looks like we're seeing a little bit. Let's see if we can see more activity here. I am seeing some of those kind of what you're saying, kind of like oval-shaped clouds. And what I was thinking is kind of somewhere along the lines of lenticular clouds. I don't see anything that's like really standing out with any kind of lenticular clouds, but here's the deal. And here's what I'll kind of say here about any type of clouds like that. So typically with lenticular clouds, you see them over mountains or on either side of the mountain, depending on what the winds are doing. Sometimes you can get these little waves, even just in the atmosphere without any kind of orographic lifting, that is the mountains, right? You just get these waves in general. So sometimes you can get those lenticular clouds without a mountain in the vicinity. It just kind of happens due to these little waves that you can get in the atmosphere. So that's what's kind of going on here. Oh, Jackie's saying, please keep looking for weird clouds facing west. All right, I'll do that. I'll take a look, Kristen. Should be interesting. And Jackie, you're saying going to stop by Grange Co-op today. Well, good. Yeah, check it out. Tell them I said hi. Because I pretty much know everybody there. I've interviewed a lot of them during our Grange Co-op segments. So, Jackie, thank you for supporting one of my sponsors and heading out to Grange Co-op. They got a lot of cool things there. You might enjoy it. So fun. Well, what do you say we wrap up the show and call it a day, call it a morning. Be ready. Let's take a look at, we'll wrap things up here. We'll take a look at the radar, all that good stuff. Let me kind of pop this up here for you. And we will get started with that radar. Well, no, we need to do that first. All right, let's take a look at that radar here. As we wrap things up, get ready to call it a show. The end of the show, Coffee with Krueger. Of course, I'll be back. Be sure to keep checking in, by the way, with the latest. I'll have a noon update for you shortly before noon, then another evening update, typically around 5 o'clock in the evening is when I have that update. You can see that rain just trying to hit the valley right now around the Redding area. This is going to be slowly pushing eastward, folks, so be on lookout for that. That rain's coming in. In the meantime, we will see you throughout the afternoon with the latest updates. Keep checking in on Facebook for the latest updates as well. And I'll be back here again tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger. And we'll be talking about that potential for thunderstorms, especially tomorrow afternoon. In the meantime, have a happy and safe day.